Alright, today we are doing a challenge run again with 2 people, and it's random again, and this one is quite messy, so I'm actually commentating the run. You can see that we fall down from the into the space a lot of times. I make some bad jumps there too. And the reason it's messy is because I'm reliant on doing this with pucks, right? And pucks is so through the in-game LFG, so I can get anything. And I'm also restricted on how much I can write in the LFG message. So what the people know that join the run is that it is essentially Healerless, it is Lowman, we are doing a random T4, and that it is a practice run. And what is a practice run? Well, that is kinda up to interpretation a bit. But there's no way for me to actually explain it in detail. It would be too much information. So what is the actual point of the run? What is the Berserker challenge? What I try to do is that I'm essentially trying to learn the details of the encounters, like some mechanics that you might not really discover when you do it normally, like, oh, this enemy, how much damage is he actually doing when he's normally attacking, auto attacks, and stuff like that. So the first one, the person essentially was a bit too impatient and was rushing in, and in the second run I still kept going with the same person, and they switched to a healing build. They say it's a hybrid build, but it was totally functional to keep me alive, so it was pretty much a healing build. And that happens. Some people also switch to solo tank builds, and I think it was the last video, where I'm not sure if the person had a tank build or not, so I'm not gonna say it. But some people do actually switch to full-on tank builds and solo the entire encounter. While I'm dead, because I'm pretty bad. I don't know the mechanics. I'm still learning, right? Even though I played this game for quite a bit, but fractals I didn't touch much, and I made a big pause too, so my rotation is pretty bad, and also I don't. There you go. I got the excuses. But what was I talking about again? Yeah, I essentially can't. It is the difficulty of setting up the challenge runs here, is that I can't really see what the other player is actually playing, and I just have to trust them. So yeah, sometimes I just have to go with the flow, essentially. And it is actually a reason why I did this challenge before on Fractal's tier 3, and this is the reason I actually stopped. Here I made a really bad jump and went into the front end here. Towards the end of the tier 3 fractal runs, we essentially had people joining who were just going full on tank builds and just soloing the entire stuff. So that was... I don't know what their intention is. They might have good intentions, right? But for me, it is a pretty boring experience when I'm searching for a challenge, right? And you have to sit there and just watch. So I doubt that anyone is going to enjoy that. unless they really want the rewards. But why would you do a challenge run if you want the rewards, right? Talking about the rewards, you can, if the reason I'm doing random runs is like I'm doing random fractals, right? And prior, when I did the tier 3, I didn't actually do randoms. I always picked a tier 3 fractal that wasn't a daily, or I had no rewards attached to it. And I did that because the community that is reward driven, and we guys who do the challenge runs, we are like incompatible. Because the people who want rewards, they're gonna get very frustrated when they hit a wall and they can't progress. So, and we challenge people, we want to hit a wall. At least me, I'm more of the survival type challenge guy, so I want to hit a wall and get stuck on it. There's also the type of optimization, so speedrun type optimization challenge guys, and that is compatible with the reward driven players. But what I'm doing is not compatible, because I want to get stuck, but when you get stuck, you're gonna be inefficient in getting rewards. So there's a natural incentive for the players to switch to healer builds or ruin the challenge run, right? If they really care about it. Here you can see I don't know the mechanic yet. I know that you have to kind of destroy the field, but I didn't fully I don't know how you can accumulate charges, and I don't know if I attack with my profession skills, will it mess it up or something? Yeah. So they are essentially on like I don't know, the Spectre healing build who targets me and it gives me shields essentially. You will see it later. I didn't go to damage taken tab yet, so I should have done it from the start. And then you will see that they are pretty much shielding me from every damage. Let's see. I made some bullet points. And I don't want to say anything bad about the player. Like the players who join, they probably always have some good intentions, right? It's always like this natural misalignment in what we want to do, which I can't solve because I would have to explain too much. That is kind of it's kind of an issue in Guild Wars 2 in general when it comes to the LFG system, because we or me, and I'm not much, the players like me and the reward driven players, they will always clash, and you have to somehow identify it during the run itself when the damage is already caused. You want to always prevent a conflict of interest when you do a run, because it's just gonna frustrate someone, right? Yeah. And the FF14, like Final Fantasy 14, the game I mainly play now, they don't have this issue because they have like something that's called unsynced, which lets you, for old content, which lets you essentially just overgear the old content, so it's kind of pointless, but you still get the relevant rewards that you wanted from it. This is good because it splits the reward-driven players out of the pool, and the challenge-driven players also have their own separate settings, which is called minimum item level, which sets your gear to the approximately to when it released. It doesn't work fully, but yeah, that's kind of how Final Fantasy XIV does a really good job on separating these two player bases. What do I have else? So here, in general, when I see that, I realize that someone is playing healer or something, I always have the choice to just hop out of the run, right? So you can say it's my fault, right? Hey, why are you complaining? The thing is, I'm not even complaining, I'm just trying to commentate over the run. It's just, you can't change anything about it. The complaining, like, there's no point to it. What was my point again? Yeah, I had the choice, and I could either be like a douche or like a bad guy and say, dude, you are breaking the rules of the challenge, you have to change the build now or I'm gonna leave or something, because if I don't say that, then nothing's gonna change probably. And that can cause conflict. So it's not, you kind of have to gauge if it's worth it and how much you can get out of the run still. I thought, because I'm pretty bad, right? I don't know the entire fractal, so I don't know if, hey, maybe Lowman is going to still make this out. And it didn't, in hindsight. It was very easy. Yeah, for me it was easy. For them it seemed difficult. The thing is, I'm saying it's easy as the person who's messing up, right? So that's kind of you have to view me with a pinch of salt. And what I did is essentially that I'm just gonna accept it and I'm gonna keep the run going because I don't want to do another recording session too. I don't have that much time. So what I did in the past was I would just leave. I would just be very strict and leave out. That's what I would have done in the past. Maybe I can talk about some of the older problems I had with setting these challenges up to. When I did this with tier 3, we actually, like, the LFG system is very bad, and the entire game is very griefable. When you set up a party LFG, someone can just join the LFG and delist it, because you, the person who joined, and you have the same rights to the party. So if people don't like what you're doing, which was the case at the time when I did these runs in like 2 years ago or something, because they see it as like, oh, what, this guy is playing without a healer, this guy, what is this guy doing, right? Or they just view this challenge as nonsense or stupid. Sure, it's understandable, right? It's strange, but I don't see a reason to go against each other. So, but the game doesn't really prevent it, because they give equal rights to both people in the party. So they can just delist it on repeat, and they can also, mid-run, they can join with multiple people, like majority. If you do a 2-man run, for example, they can join with 3 people and kick you out of the run and essentially steal the instance and your progress. So you will be kicked out and everything you did in the run is going to be totally wasted. It is a terrible system, honestly. Like, the party creator should, or like, it should be optimally they have a dual system where the current system stays and you can set it up that, oh, party leader has the main rights, right? And this would be optimal for these kinds of groups. I vaguely remember the boss here. I know that he does some kind of dash when you go far, but it never actually became relevant, or I don't know what he actually does. As you can see in the damage log right now, nearly everything is absorbed. So I don't really know what's happening, like how, if he can be kited, what kind of damage I'm taking. That is always the issue. That's like the general healer issue. Yeah, I don't even know why I got jailed. I assume I got jailed because I got hit by the red AoE. But if you have a healer in the group, if you don't get punished for a mechanic, you won't know what is happening, and that's like a very sad thing to me. Like, I wanna see to the maximum like detail what the developers created, right? Alright, that's pretty much it. See you around, and let's get to the next challenge another time.